The moment a woman feels too secure in her position, she often begins to get comfortable in a way that quietly kills the dynamic. It's subtle. She doesn't even notice it happening, and most men don't either until it's too late. She stops putting in the same effort, stops showing up with the same energy, stops nurturing the connection with the same intensity she did when she felt she could lose you. It's not that she's a bad person or disloyal, it's simply how human psychology works. Security without uncertainty leads to emotional flatline, and emotional flatline is the death of attraction. When she knows you'll always be there, always available, always ready to reassure her, to fix her moods, to adjust your energy to accommodate hers, she no longer feels the need to earn your attention. Most men respond to this by trying harder, chasing her energy, flooding her with compliments, buying gifts, double texting, and over-explaining their worth, thinking this will reignite her affection. But that is the exact behavior that pushes her further into complacency. She already knows you're there. She knows you'll try to fix things. She knows you'll apologize first, even when it isn't your fault. And because of this, she stops valuing what she once had to earn. People only truly value what they have to work for, and when something is too easy, it becomes invisible, even when it's good. This is why you must learn the art of subtle psychological pullback, not as a game, but as a way to restore the natural balance that keeps the connection alive. You don't announce it. You don't punish her. You simply begin to shift your energy back into yourself. You stop overextending. You stop making her the center of your emotional world. You stop showing up instantly, and you let her feel the quiet absence of your constant validation. You let her feel what it's like to miss your presence, so she can remember why she valued it in the first place. Asterisk, most men think they need to yell, argue, or pull away dramatically to reset the dynamic when a woman starts slipping into complacency. But that's not how a man with quiet strength operates. The real power isn't loud, aggressive, or emotional. It's calm, measured, and still. It's in your ability to stand firm in your energy without letting her moods, her tests, or her shifting behaviors shake your foundation. When she crosses a line with sarcasm, disrespect, or subtle digs, most men jump into defense mode, explaining themselves, arguing their point, or trying to prove their worth. But a man who knows his value doesn't rush to defend himself or argue for respect. He simply pauses, breathes, and calmly says, "I don't entertain that kind of energy," and then lets silence do the work. That silence is a mirror, forcing her to sit with what she just did, making her question whether she crossed a boundary and if she's losing your respect without you ever needing to say it directly. This is powerful because it's not your anger that shakes her, it's your calm. It's your non-reactivity that makes her feel the weight of her actions. She begins to wonder if she just lost her place with you, if she pushed too far, if she has jeopardized the connection she took for granted. Women are constantly observing your emotional responses, even when you think they're not. They watch your posture, your tone, your reactions, your presence. They look for cracks in your composure, signs that you're triggered, insecure, or desperate for their validation. When she tries to bait you with silence or coldness, and you remain warm but unbothered, it sends a message louder than any words could. It says, "I'm not here to prove anything to you." It shows her that your peace, your mission, and your self-respect come first. And she feels it deeply because it is rare. One of the most effective yet overlooked shifts you can make is to break the pattern without making any announcements, without speeches, without passive-aggressive silence. If you've always been the one initiating plans, sending good morning texts, checking in when she's quiet, and reassuring her when she's cold, you simply stop. You don't stop because you're angry or trying to punish her. You stop because you realize you've been overgiving, trying to maintain a connection she has stopped nurturing, and you're done forcing it. You redirect that energy back into yourself, back into your mission, your goals, your fitness, your mind, and your peace. You start prioritizing your time, and she feels the difference immediately, even if you haven't said a word. Women notice when your energy shifts, when the constant supply of validation and attention they have grown used to suddenly isn't there at the snap of their fingers. They feel that absence in ways that are far more intense than the presence you gave so freely. It is in that absence that she begins to question her position with you. She starts wondering if she's given enough, if she's taken you for granted, if she's losing your attention to another area of your life, or perhaps even another woman. And it's not because you told her so, but because your actions now say, "Access to me is a privilege, not a guarantee." This kind of silent recalibration forces her to reflect on her own effort in the relationship. And in that reflection, she often realizes how much she misses the energy used to give so easily. You haven't punished her or disrespected her. You've simply removed yourself from a dynamic that no longer served you. And that silence is more powerful than any argument you could ever have had with her. Emotional consistency is one of the key, most powerful signals you can send in a relationship, and most men never learn how to master it. If your mood constantly rises and falls based on her energy, if you're cheerful when she's warm and miserable when she's cold, you're signaling that she controls the frame. She sees that your emotional state is dictated by her behavior. And once she realizes this, she knows she holds the power. But when you remain grounded regardless of her storms, when you remain calm when she is distant, playful when she is cold, stable when she is chaotic, you show her something rare. Man whose world is not easily shaken. When she withdraws her affection to test you, flirts with others to trigger you, or becomes moody to gain control, you don't flinch, you don't argue, you don't chase. You continue living, working on your mission, showing up as your best self, and maintaining your peace. This doesn't mean you suppress your emotions or avoid addressing issues when necessary. It means you refuse to let temporary moods from her pull you off your center. It means you're the same man whether she's giving you affection or pulling away. That consistency is magnetic because it shows strength, composure, and discipline. Traits that command respect without you ever having to demand it. She will notice that her usual methods to gain control no longer work, and this creates a shift within her. She starts to question her own behavior because it no longer gives her the reaction she was expecting. In that quiet moment of realization, she begins to feel her position with you is no longer stable, and she starts to reevaluate how she shows up. The less reactive you are, the more reflective she becomes, and it is your silence and emotional control that flip the dynamic without the need for conflict or explanations. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to quietly walk away while maintaining your warmth and kindness. It's easy to leave with anger, to storm out with loud words and accusations. But that noise often just creates more drama, and drama keeps you tied to a dynamic you've outgrown. When you walk away calmly, without blaming her, without trying to prove a point, you send a message louder than any argument ever could. You show her that you are not leaving out of spite, but out of alignment with your own standards and peace. When you say, "This doesn't work for me anymore," without yelling, pleading, or explaining repeatedly, she is left to sit in the silence of her choices, replaying her actions and attitudes in her own mind. She begins to wonder what she did to lose the version of you that was always there, always ready to give, always ready to forgive. This kind of calm exit shatters the illusions of control she thought she had over you, making her realize that your kindness was never a weakness, that your attention was never guaranteed, and that your love was a choice, not a need. While she is reflecting, you are evolving. You are investing that energy back into yourself, growing stronger, clearer, and more focused on your mission and self-respect. You are no longer wasting time trying to prove your worth to someone who cannot see it without distance. The paradox is that your silent withdrawal often makes her see your value more clearly than all the explaining and proving you did before. She feels your absence deeply, questioning if she has lost something rare and irreplaceable. Your calm detachment is not indifference. It is mastery over your emotions, showing you are a man who can care deeply yet will never beg for a place where respect and effort are not mutual.